Assignments and screencasting. You've added Screencastify to Chrome. You created a couple of docs for assignment. Today you're looking at Screencastify tools and operation. Then you'll make a screencast for your students to go along with the assignment or assignments you're going to release later. I'm going to open up my Google Chrome browser. I already have the document open that you were looking at when you click this video link right here to watch this video. Before I open up the application Screencastify, I'm going to come over here. I want you to look at my Google Drive. I want you to witness for me. I have these 4 folders. I'm getting a little untidy. I've got an untitled document down there I need to look at and put somewhere. But if you'll notice, there's no Screencastify folder. I'm going to go back to that document and I'm going to open up this software or this application, they call it these days. And it tells me I'm going to sign in with Google. Yours may not tell you that. I just put that in there in case someone was signed out. And the weird thing is now I have to open it again. Left click it to open it. And here it is. Gives you a little information about it. Now let me tell you, this is a real touchy little thing. If you click outside of this box right here before you start recording, it just shuts off and you have to reopen it. Right here at the top, it's a 5-minute limit per video, and they want you to upgrade. Like with any free app, they're constantly trying to get you to upgrade, and you just have to work around that. The district tells me they're looking into purchasing a license, but in the meantime, this is what we have to work with. If 5 minutes isn't long enough, you may just have to make a couple of videos. But today we're going to focus on recording just the browser tab because it's the one that has all the bells and whistles on it. The desktop is good. That's what I prefer. That's what I use. But if you use that one, it doesn't have all the tools that I like in the one for the browser tab. So that's the one that I'm going to do this exercise with or this instruction with. And if you want to use the desktop, you can experiment with that. It's virtually the same as the browser tab. But when it says browser tab, it means browser tab, the one that you own. If you try to move around anywhere, it just shuts off like if you clicked outside there right now. When you open your software, you're going to see a microphone. It's usually defaulted to the one on your computer. Embedded webcam is probably turned off. I'd like for you to, when you do your assignment, turn that one on. I'm going to punch this record button right here. It's a little slow developing, but it's about to come on. It just activated my camera. 3, 2, 1, counting me down. There's that dreaded picture in the bottom right-hand corner. And I talked about that as you introduce your assignment to your students. I'd like for you to have that on. If you would like to turn it off after you get started, I'll show you how to do that. I would say also, when you're using the camera, experts say, and I agree, if you'll look right into the camera, it looks like you're making eye contact with the people. And the camera on most laptops at BSISD is right in the center at the top. A little light should come on. If you don't see one there, it's probably somewhere else. Try to figure out where it is. And when you are talking directly to the students, it's very helpful to look right into the camera. It's really easy to be looking down at yourself, and a lot of us do because we don't really know where the camera is. It's a little hard for some people to develop that. I know it was for me. But here are the tools associated with this free version of Screencastify and the browser tab recording mode. Right here, just let you know what camera, I guess you could switch if you had different ones. And this one right here, I didn't get much out of. It just flips it back and forth. I read somewhere that it would like split the screen, but I haven't figured that out yet. This one right here, I'm not very fond of that. And I think you can see why. Way too much for me. And you could turn the camera off right there. I'm not going to. Here is your camera again. You can turn it off. So if you get your video started You're like, I don't want people looking at me. Right here, just click that, then you can turn it back on. An eraser implies that there's something to erase, which is what you would use this pen for. By the way, I'm over here in the bottom left corner where the tools are. Here's your pen. It's pretty nice, in my opinion. You can draw stuff on there, and then you can use your eraser to erase it. And if you don't want to go to all that trouble of erasing specific parts, keeping the eraser tool open, you can clear it all off. The pointer options or the mouse options right here darkens the background and highlights wherever you move your cursor. I'm going to turn that one off. The middle one I didn't get much out of. It says hide the cursor when it's not moving. This one here, highlight clicks. It looks like it's on, and it looks like I just turned it off. I'm going to turn it on, and let's see. There we go. You can hold it down and leave that circle, or wherever you click, the circle shows up. And I'm like, hey, look right here, or whatever. Okay, so those are your tools that you would use. You're limited to 5 minutes. You can either use a timer, like I use a timer on my cell phone or smartphone, whatever you want to call it, to keep up with how long the video is running. If you don't have that possibility, you don't have a timer of some sort, one way you can tell where you are in the video is click back on the software button. You're going to need to do that to stop the video anyway. But you can see we're at 3 minutes and 38 seconds since I started this portion of the video, and I'm going to stop it. This button right here stops it, and then it starts processing it. If you'll notice over here on the right, it's storing it on your Google Drive. All right? To skip the tour because they're just trying to upsell you right there. Okay, all these things over here on the side about sharing this link, you may figure out how to use those. That's not how we're going to do it when we do your assignment. Open Editor, you don't have Editor unless you paid for it, so don't do that, please. Now, let's play this video for just a second and see how it turned out. One edit you can do is clipping. I didn't use this. I've used it on a different version in the past. If you want to clip parts of it off, then feel free to work with that. I'm going to full screen this and play. One counting me down. There's that dreaded picture in the bottom right-hand corner. And I talked about that as you introduce your assignment to your students. I'd like for you to have that on if you would like to turn it off after you get started. There, we just made a video, or I just made a video, and I tried it from the student side. I assigned it and sent it to them. This bottom area down here with the clipping comes off, so it looks pretty decent. All right, we need to name the assignment. It named it Exercise 12, D2 Assignment Screencastify. What this really was Screencastify Tools. I named it Screencastify Tools. Now remember, when we looked at my Google Drive earlier, and you're a witness of this, you saw it, there was no Screencastify folder. But when I created this video, and remember it said it's saving it to Google Drive, it went in there and created this Screencastify folder. And if we were to open it, which we are, inside it we're going to see a video. That's where it stores it. It takes care of that for you. I'm not real crazy about something created a folder on my Google Drive, but that's where it should be. If you don't get that, let me know and we'll try to, if that doesn't show up in yours when you do that, let me know and we'll try to work that out. So that's just the basic information I have for you about the software or the app Screencastify. In the next video, I'll show you a demonstration of how you might go about creating a video to go with an assignment to your students.